What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Max, the part-time pit master here, and you're watching Part-Timers Barbecue. And on today's episode, we're dealing with prime rib roast. It's gonna be fire. So yeah, let's check it out. Let's get to some prep. So I am going to start by removing these bones. I'm gonna get the knife underneath those knuckle bones. Don't know if they're actually called knuckle bones, but I'm just going to call them that. And then I'm going to guide the knife down. We don't want to take too much meat off the actual roast. So I'm going to season these bones up with Reeedz BBQ SPG. Keep it simple for those. Then I'm going to do a nice light little trim on this roast before we season it up. So on this roast, I'm going to be using 2 of Reeedz seasonings. I'm going to use his SPG as the base layer, and then I'm going to hit it with his bold brisket out of the bottle. They tasted great, just what you would expect a beef rub and an SPG to taste like. So I figure I'm going to use it on this cook. So y'all keep watching and you're going to see that happen. Once everything is all nice and seasoned, I'm going to put it in my fridge overnight until we fire up the pit tomorrow. What is going on, everybody? So you're probably like, Max, what are you doing in your garage, bro? Like, I thought you were using your drum smoker. And I'll say you're correct. My prime rib is gonna be smoking on the drum smoker, but this is the morning and I'm gonna be smoking the beef ribs we trimmed off and some of the beef fat to render down to mix with a mop. But also we're making au jus. So why am I gonna fire up my big pit? I wanna get this done ahead of time. Why am I gonna fire up my big pit when I have an awesome Ranger for little things like this, which is perfect? Now the reason, if you're looking to get a Ranger, it's perfect for little things like this. You wanna smoke some garlic, you wanna roast some bones, you wanna make an au jus, you only have a small little brisket flat, you don't wanna do all the, you don't wanna fire up a big old pit for it. Perfect. Anyway, let's throw these on. We're gonna smoke them bones right on the rack. We're gonna smoke it for maybe about an hour, 2 hours, and then we're gonna throw it into this dish with some onions, a little bit of beef broth, and garlic. Wrap it up with tin foil, let it braise, and we're gonna build this au jus real nice. So let's break into it. Okay, so we are rocking around 200 degrees, as you can see. Now, these are bigger than what you think they would be. So this small little rack of ribs right there, and we're gonna throw that over there. Just let that render down, let this catch some smoke, and yeah. Got a little mixture of char, hickory, and apple blend pellets in here. Go for the gold, shut her down. After about an hour at 300 on the Ranger, I did end up switching it over to the oven just to finish it off because I figured why not. But anyway, here you're going to see when I pulled them out, the ribs are nice and tender. And side note, you can pull these apart and make awesome little snacks, pulled beef. These are beef back ribs right here. Anyway, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna strain this liquid out. I'm gonna put the whole thing in the freezer. Once that fat's gonna rise to the top, it's gonna get hard. You're gonna remove the fat and then rewarm the au jus later on for when we need it. Good afternoon. It's a nice fall day. We're about to get that roast on the barrel. So let's do it. So we are sitting just above 225. Let's get this awesome, beautiful looking roast onto the grill. Sorry for my hands. I don't have any gloves. Ran out. Your hand underneath here. I'm gonna throw that right in the old middle. And then we're gonna throw this probe in. About there. We're gonna get this wire through here. Perfect. Close the lid back up. And then we'll plug. Sorry for that mess. And we'll plug this in. Okay, so I washed my hands. I don't want to cross-contaminate. So I have the Inkbird leave-in thermometer. It's got 4 ports. Plugging it into port 2. I'm going to turn it on. And we are sitting at 39 internal right now. Put that there. Forget all about it, and I'll track it through my phone. Okay, so normally I'm not a huge leave-in thermometer fan. And what I mean by that is when I'm cooking briskets, pork shoulders, ribs, steaks, meats I want to render tender, even chickens and turkeys, I try to go by feel. So, I mean, obviously with chickens and turkeys, you got to temp it, it's got to be 165, right? So that's said and done. But with briskets and pulled pork, I try to go by feel and let the meat tell me what's going on, right? If you sit there and you worry about a leave-in thermometer all the time, you're not going to be able to learn and pick up the subtle notes that the meat is going to tell you, right? So probe tenderness, all that jazz, looking how the bark feels, checking the fat to see how it's rendering and the color of it and how pillowy it is, how cloudy it is, all those little nuances and things that make you a better pit master. I feel like you won't fully get if you're just monitoring a temperature and going by a set temperature, like, okay, at 165 I'm going to wrap. As soon as it hits 165 you wrap. Like things like that I think will limit you when it comes to actual barbecue and how you can grow. But anyway, enough about that. With something like a beef roast or a steak or something like that where the window for air is small and you could overcook it really easily, I'm gonna use a leave-in thermometer. I'm gonna monitor it because I have no idea how long this is gonna take. Could take 3 hours, could take 4 hours. I don't think it's gonna take any more than 4 hours, but you know, we can manipulate a little bit, crank up the temp when we need to. I do like to amp up my temps, start a little lower and end a little higher, so probably be ending around 300. But anyway, other than that, just wanted to mention that because you probably notice I never use any thermometers through my cooks. So, well, besides my probe one. But anyway, so we'll come back in about an hour and check it out. So I got this mop sauce here. It's butter, rendered down fat that we trimmed off of this prime rib roast, little olive oil, some rub, garlic, and onion, and I think a little thyme too I threw in there. So I'm going to use this to baste the meat. Definitely thinking I'm gonna spin it around too. Just get some even cookiness on the opposite side. throw the lid back on now. Let it keep going. So we are gonna give it another mop. We are 10 degrees away from 130. Pull it at 135. It's looking good. Let's give it another little mop. I think I'm gonna flip it over again. Okay, you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm gonna reverse sear this. I was gonna take it till 130 the whole way, or 135 the whole way. I'm actually probably gonna pull it a little before 130, let it rest, and then I'm gonna fire out the pit barrel. I'm gonna raise up the grill, because you know what? I don't gotta eat for a while. My wife's, it's cooking quicker than I thought, so my wife's not gonna be home from work for another hour and a bit, so we'll let it rest, and then I'll fire it up over top of the hot coals. So another few degrees and we'll be pulling this off to rest. But anyway, sometimes with barbecue you gotta think on your feet. I thought this was gonna take a little bit longer, but obviously I was wrong. Time to show y'all this dope pit barrel hack that I actually saw on Instagram a while back. So what you do is you suspend the fire basket between the rebar there, and it works great for searing. You throw the grate upside down so it sits flat, and you're ready to go. Get some nice flame-kissed sear action going on, and I'm actually going to show you. We're going to sear all sides of this roast. The flame's going to be popping up. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. And then I'll check back in when it's time to slice and taste. And it's that time to slice, and it is absolutely perfect. This is how I like it. I like it a nice medium like this. I don't want it too raw with a big, huge roast like this, but I hit the mark on this one. It's tender, it's juicy. Now nothing left to do but rip off a slice and dip it in this homemade au jus that we did. And I'm gonna say, this was awesome. This was really popping. And like always, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until the next episode.